This is Wednesday Wisdom. Now, today is one of the most highly requested videos I have ever had. So, I thought it'd be best to list the help of Dr. Karl Morris, a psychologist that was on hand when Louis Oosthuizen won the Open, a man with a ton of experience at the top of the game of golf psychology. This is 5 things every golfer must know and needs to know about their golf game. Welcome to the channel, guys. If you are brand new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, welcome back. Let's get to it. Okay, guys, before we get into today's video and we start speaking to Karl, this is super important. So last November, I went on Karl's Mind Factor course. It was probably one of the best things for me as a coach, but for me in life and for my own golf game. Now, this course is one available online right now, and I'll leave all the information down below. But also, the course that I did in Manchester is on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of November this year. And fingers crossed, we will be back to normal by then, guys. And honestly, I can't recommend this enough. I get nothing from saying this for Karl. Karl's been a massive help to me, and I just want to basically give you guys to have the chance of accessing all this information as well. So, let's get straight into today's video. Hi Karl, welcome to the channel. Right, everybody wants to hear from you during lockdown, and one of the most requested videos that I've ever had. What are the top 5 mental tips that you would give somebody? Everybody wants to know from your experience, because ultimately, you're one of the best in the business. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, managing to get through the challenges so far. I maybe did one of the bravest things I've ever done in my life the other day. I let my wife cut my hair, so I think I've escaped reasonably well. So, and she's not a hairdresser, by the way. So.
It doesn't look too bad, that at all.
Yeah, no, I closed my eyes while she was doing it, and then wondered what was going to appear at the other end. But I was all right in the end.
Okay, so what's the first tip?
I think one of the key principles that people could consider, Alex, is that what we understand is whatever we review, we rehearse. And by that I mean whatever we review in our mind in terms of golf, we're actually, if we can vividly reimagine shots that we've hit, we almost create a situation where brain and body are working almost as though it's the real thing. You know, the best example of this would be if everybody listening to this or watching this could vividly imagine now sinking the teeth into a juicy ripe lemon, actually what your body would start to do, you'd start to salivate, because if you imagine it vividly enough, you get a physical reaction. So how can you use that principle for golf? Well, a great one that you could do while we're all sort of sat at home and we're dying to get out there is just go through this exercise. And I call it the best 18. So on your home course, is think from hole number 1 all the way to hole 18, think to the best shot that you've hit on each hole on your home golf course. And the great thing about that is what you've got to do, you'll think about and all kinds of shots will come into your mind, but then you'll settle on one. And then if you can settle on that one shot and vividly replay it in your mind, go back as much detail as possible. You know, if you can imagine the people that you were playing with, the colour of the sky, the day, whatever it was, the conditions, and just really immerse yourself back into that experience again. But as you do, it's kind of like stepping into the picture and just really experience the movement of your golf swing. And what most people find when they do that over a period of time, over a number of shots, they start getting common factors and sort of experiences come to mind from the golf swing. And usually it's around rhythm, because usually as we've talked about, when you pick up, when you're playing good golf, your golf swing has a certain flow to it. So it's a really worthwhile exercise to do that, because as much as anything, for when you get back on your golf course, you've had this self-imposed, well, not self-imposed, we've all had a break that's been imposed upon us. But when we get back, if you vividly imagine playing holes at your home golf course well, guess what? When you get back, your brain's going to say, oh, I can't wait to do this. It's the opposite of what happens if you've got a bogey hole. If you've got a bogey hole, you play the hole badly and you relive it in your mind, then you get on the tee and you repeat it. So we often do this process, but in the wrong way. We often do it for bad stuff.
You know, it's mad you say that, because I remember when I used to caddy for Tom, I used to sort of like describe shots. So, for example, we played a hole on the practice round and said, oh, you hit a great 8-iron into here, you faded it into the back right flag. And it's amazing how each time, even if it wasn't the 8-iron, he would hit a good shot on that hole, because he had a good picture of, oh, I only did it a few days ago, so now I can remember it.
Yeah. I've seen it over the years with tour players. I can think of numerous examples where certain players might be struggling with their game, but they'll get to a golf course where they've played well in the past, and all of a sudden, the sights and sounds, the look of the holes and things like that trigger memories, and those memories spark feelings, and those feelings allow the swing to take place. So, a lot of this stuff happens to us without us realizing it. But what we're saying here is, here's an opportunity. You've had a break from the game. Think back to the best stuff that you've played from 1 to 18 on your home course, relive it vividly. It's not going to guarantee good shots when you get back, but it's actually massively going to increase the chances. And I think a lot of people find if they did it systematically and you wrote it out, you'll have a different view to every hole that you play once you get back on your home course.
Definitely. I think if people do it exactly how you said, it doesn't guarantee good shots, but it gives it a better chance than if you're not going to do anything at all.
The very least that will happen, Alex, is you put a smile on your face when you sat at home thinking about your golf.
That can't be a bad thing.
Win-win.
Okay, number 2 on your list.
Number 2, again, this would be something that you could do at home, even if you're not fortunate to have a garden, if you're in an apartment or something like that. You can even begin to do this with your putter. And again, it's something that we've explored in the past. It's about learning centered strike. Now, I think it's a big part of the game that's overlooked for so many players. Centered strike for putting is so important. You can tell all your viewers more than anybody, centered strike in your driver is everything, isn't it? If you can get that ball at the middle of the golf club, toe strikes, heel strikes, you can have a good path and face, but if you're off center, you can hit some funny shots. And I don't think we work enough on centered strike. Okay, so how do you do it even at home? Well, this is a bit of a paradox, really. Is what you do, you can do it with your putter, is stand there, address the ball in the middle of the club face, and then swing the putter back and deliberately hit the ball off the toe. Start in the middle, deliberately hit it off the toe. Start in the middle, deliberately hit it off the toe. Then, a few balls later, swing it back and deliberately hit it off the heel. Swing it back, deliberately hit it off there, and really sense what toe strikes feel like and what heel strikes feel like. And then, once you've deliberately done the toe and the heel, if you can hit both ends of the club deliberately, then just allow yourself to hit some putts. And what your brain will do, I call it trapping the feeling. You'll actually find the middle ground, and all of a sudden they're starting to come out of the centre of the club face. Now, you can expand that principle. If you've got a net in the garden, brilliant, and certainly when we get back on the golf course. But it would be something, I would say, definitely with your driver. I've got some, it's called Strike Spray here. Brilliant piece of kit, but you could just use, athlete's foot powder spray. Spray your driver when we get back out there and really start to understand where you're striking that ball, because most people are blissfully unaware of it. And, some of the wildest shots, I think, in golf it might not be that your swings change that much. It's just you've got the thing a little bit off center. So it's a great opportunity to develop skills indoors that you'll be able to take outside. But don't develop skills by trying to get it right. Develop skills by feeling either side of what's wrong.
That's really good, Dan. I mean, I can vouch for that firsthand. I did the filming for your website and the Break 90 and all the work that we did for the Mind Factor courses. I did that heel toe, and then I couldn't believe the feeling I hit it off the middle. It was unbelievable. It's
a crazy thing that we've spent so long practicing golf, and everybody's standing on the range and they're trying to get it right. They're just trying to put the club in certain positions, and all they're really trying to look at is what is the right swing. Well, if you look at, not most things, learning doesn't take place effectively that way. I often use the example of the thing that still baffles people that we managed to do it, which is walking. Biomechanics look at that and think, how on earth does a baby learn to walk? Well, a baby learns to walk not by getting it right. They're crawling, and then they get up, they fall to the left, they fall to the right, fall to the left, fall to the right, and eventually the brain organizes and traps something in the middle as the brain's organizing either side. So it's kind of like having a different relationship to what we think is failure. It's not. If you can explore, and we've talked about this on the videos, you can explore more things that way. You know, if you stand there, address the ball in the middle, swing it back, if you can deliberately point the face to the right, deliberately point the face to the left, then hey, presto, you can find something in the middle. So it's much more about working on skills and shots rather than swings. I think we've spent too long obsessing about what golf swings look like and not enough about developing skills about how we're going to apply that club to the ball.
100%. And we spoke about that on the golf chat show, you and Simon the other week. And we could go on it about it for about hours and hours and hours, couldn't we?
But I just think this is out of this tragedy that's happening around us, and you know, there's some real serious stuff going on in the world. But once we get back out playing golf, my hope is we don't just go back to how it was before and carry on doing what we did before, because I think instinctively a lot of us know that practicing the way that we have done and getting absorbed in trying to have a golf swing looking perfect and comparing what we do to Tiger Woods or Mac O'Grady, whoever it is, for most people that's been a really diminishing return that they've got. And if we can look at it and think, you know, maybe I'm going to approach my golf differently. I can't wait to get back. I'm going to be so grateful to play. But actually, I do want to see how good I can be. But I'm not going to fall into the same trap that I've done.
Okay, Carl, that's so good so far, guys. And if you are enjoying this content, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And of course, what are the things that you've done to help yourself mentally on your golf game? If you have done anything so far, please comment them down below. Carl, what's the next one?
Number 3 would be the time that we play golf. So you're out on the golf course, anything from, it should be 3.5 hours, but I think most people who play in club medals, it's nearer 5. I think one thing professional golf's handed down to the game is slow play, which has not been great. So again, hopefully that's something that happens when we get back. People get a move on and we don't take so much time, because you don't play better the longer you take, that's for sure. But when you play golf, 90% of the time that you're on the golf course, you're not actually playing golf. It's the in-between time, and it's the in-between time that allows human beings to do something called thinking. And unfortunately, it's not usually good things that we're thinking. We've all fallen into this over the years. You know, when you've dropped a shot somewhere, you're playing 3 holes later and you're still thinking about that 3-putt that you hit a great shot into the green. You thought you were going to make birdie and you walk off with a bogey and you've not let it go. So a lot of the time you're reliving history that's never going to come back. Or if you're doing well, you've only played 13 holes, but you're already thinking about the par 5 17th that you're going to birdie, and then getting up to 18 and the winning speech. And we all know what. So constantly we're going backwards and forwards in our mind. Now, if I wish I'd known this when I was playing or trying to play competitively. Anybody watching this now, if you simply placed your attention on the feeling of your feet on the floor, or you placed your attention on the rise and fall of your breath, that just directing your attention to your body, you'll begin to feel different, because your mind can travel in time, but your body can't. Anytime you place your attention on your physical body, it brings you back here into the moment. Now, what you can do at the moment, even if you can't play golf, is when you go for your walk, even if it's a walk around the garden, just set yourself this task. That you set off, maybe pick 2 lampposts. So you start this lamppost here and you're going to walk to that lamppost over there. So it's like a par 4 maybe. See if you can walk from one lamppost to another, just keeping your attention on the feeling of your breath, of the rise and fall of your breath. See if you can keep it there. Now, what sounds the easiest thing in the world, listening to this or watching this video, I promise you, as soon as you start doing it, your mind will jump. You'll start thinking, why the hell am I doing this? Or what am I going to have for my tea? Or what did I not do yesterday? The key thing is bring it back. Just keep bringing your attention gently back to the breath. And then notice if you can keep that attention there. And I promise you that when you get back playing golf, if you can just develop that skill a little bit more when you're out on the golf course, the ability to be present to something that's happening now, as opposed to something that's never going to happen again because it's over, or something that we think is going to happen in the future. If you can just get a fraction better at that now in this time when we're not playing, I promise you it'll reap the rewards. Because ideally what you want is to be able to stay a little bit more present in between shots, so that when you get to the next one, you're much better able to create that shot in the moment, as opposed to trying to make up for a previous shot, or thinking if I can just knock this on the green, I'm going to make a bird, and all the stuff that we get into our head doing that takes us away from the task. So that would be the thing. It can, you know, your daily walk can become a sacred ritual for practicing your golf.
It's crazy how, I mean, I've done that, and how easy it sounds and how hard it is actually to implement when you first try it. But when you get into a routine with it, it then sort of becomes not second nature, but almost like you flick that autopilot switch on, and then you're doing that. But also, it's something that I've done on a separate note to golf to help me sleep.
Yes, yeah. You know, in the we're currently running a mindfulness training that we're doing, a 4-week course that we're doing at the moment, and it's been amazing. The responses that they've had when they start working on being a little bit more mindful, and having the support of the breath, and just that simple thing of placing your attention there, how profoundly important that is, because we're so busy in our head all the time. And you know, what's the thing that stops us getting to sleep is thoughts, is thinking. And when you sort of put your head on the pillow and you focus your attention on your breath, you know, it's surprising, most people find when they do that, yeah, they don't maybe always drop off straight away, but it's a great principle to work on to get better sleep as well.
Okay, number 4 on your list.
Number 4, I think it's so relevant at the moment with what's going on, is to ask yourself the question, why do you play golf? Because, you know, in normal circumstances, we just go from week to week, and, you know, we turn up at the club and hit loads of balls and practice and go from tournament to tournament if you're a top player. And I think just to take this opportunity and really genuinely ask yourself, why is it that you play this thing called golf? What is it that's important to you? But don't take the first answer. Just, you know, most people, if you say, well, why do you play golf? Oh, because, you know, I want to get better, or what? Just ask yourself the question a couple of times. Just why is it that you play this game of golf? What is it that's really important to you? And when you ask it a couple of times, drop down a couple of levels, you might be surprised what comes out, because, you know, it might be just the fact that you love to be competitive, that you love the challenge, that it might be that you like the freedom of, I don't know what it is. I don't want to plant seeds in anybody's mind, because it's such an important question. Write it down, write a couple of answers down, get to the heart of why it is that you play golf. Then here's the key thing. Let's say you've written down that, why do I play golf? Because you know, I really enjoy the social element to it. That might be somebody's answer. Okay, now the key is that when you've got your answer to why you play golf, when you get playing again, make sure that you think about why you play golf when you play golf.
Yeah.
Because, you know, some people will say, you know, my reason for playing golf is because I love swinging with freedom. And then they get on the golf course and they 3-putt the first green, and all they do is sulk for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know, because you've lost your reason for playing. It's just always on to performance. Now, we're not saying performance couldn't be the reason that you play, but if your reason for playing is performance, okay, well, what does that entail? What do you need to do to perform well? I would suspect that for most people, if you want to perform well and lower your scores, acting like a child is not the direct route to lowering your handicap. You know, so I think, again, it's a great time for us all to reflect. As I say, it's a unique, hopefully unique moment in history, that we've got this enforced break from the game. But that profoundly important question, why do you play golf? Not the first answer, not the second answer. Drill down a little bit, but then promise yourself that when you play again, you're going to think about why you play golf when you play golf.
And then that's the key thing, isn't it? Remember to do it when you're on the golf course.
Yeah, stay with your commitment, because when you're clear on why you play, then every shot that you play, every hole you play, you're either staying with your commitment or you're not.
Okay, number 5, the final one on your list.
Number 5, I would say, is just monitor your reactions, and by that I mean, just if you think of the times that we play golf, you know, the statistics tell us that every player in the world hits a lot of bad shots. You know, the best players in the world miss 1 in every 3 greens. They miss 1 in every 3 fairways. So it's not so much, I think, that the bad shots are the problem at golf. It's our reaction to those bad shots. And I would imagine for most people watching, certainly if I look back, it's very often the way that I've reacted to stuff, or we've reacted to stuff over the years, that causes the bad shot to lead to another bad shot to lead to another bad shot. So I think monitor or be aware of your reactions. And again, you know, in day to day, we're all in this sort of pressure cooker at the minute. You know, we're all seeing the same person all the time, or maybe seeing nobody at all if you're on your own. And we've got a pressurized situation that's been thrown on us. Just monitor how you're reacting to that, because one of the big things, you know, you don't often, you have no control or ultimate control over what a golf ball does. When that club and ball meet each other and they separate, your ability to control what happens now is gone. You have no, you know, if it bounces to the left or the wind gets up or whatever. But what you do have control over potentially is how you react to the outcome. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, we've talked about it before. Every golf shot's got 3 parts. You've got your pre-shot, your shot, and your post-shot. For an awful lot of golfers, it's the post-shot where they could do the best work. If they improve the way that they reacted to shots, if they improve the post-shot, guess what you'll find is your ability to create good shots and be more absorbed in the shot massively increases. So, yeah, I would say, you know, in this current challenging situation, just monitor your reactions to things and sort of say to yourself, right, am I reacting in a way that's useful here, or am I getting myself in some real bother by the way I'm sort of reacting to everything?
Thanks very much, Karl, for those top 5 tips. That's fantastic for everybody to have a go over this period to keep themselves sane with their golf game.
Pleasure.
Right, guys, there you have it. Karl's top 5 mental tips. And honestly, they're so important to help you improve your golf swing and just know about your golf swing. So if you did enjoy all those tips, please do comment down below what one was your favorite, because after all, these are here to help you improve your golf game. Now, it's a rainy day here in Manchester. It's pretty miserable compared to the weather that we've had. But one thing I want to say, guys, is keep smiling. It will be over soon. And most importantly, stay safe.